Rev up your engines! Why do people buy 4Runners and pay so much money? This guy bought it new and he was not happy back then paying $35-something thousand. But here we come years later, it still runs like a clock. So he's getting his money. It just takes a long time to get your money back if you buy new. And if you buy them used, you're going to find the prices are high too. And they are, because they can last forever. There's a few warnings here. Some of them are funny. This is the original headlight. Look at that. All the way back from 2007. But this is one, they hit a deer, and this is the replacement one. So this was replaced in 2008 with an aftermarket one. And this is the original 2007. So sometimes aftermarket, big mistake. Now he says that people are saying, well, why don't you fix this here? His wife did that, and we go on the other side. His daughter backed into something and popped it down. Well, he said, guess what? Why bother? It's all plastic. They'll probably hit something again. It doesn't affect how it runs. You can see the trailer hitch that's hit the bumper, dude. It's all plastic. And not only does these cost a few $100, it's going to cost you $400 or $500 to paint them. So who cares? I like the old days when they had actual metal bumpers. Then you didn't have to deal with all that crap. Now we'll open the hood up. And what's under the hood? The intelligent variable valve timing V6. These things can run forever. And as you can see, even back in 2007, they were running timing chains. Unlike those ridiculous Honda V6s that to this day, 2023, are still running rubber timing belts. You know, they just don't want to come into the 21st century and make something that's going to last forever, and you don't have to deal with having a timing belt changed, or if you don't change the timing belt, rolling the dice and hoping they don't break because they're interference and the pistons hit the valves. These are made right, and they basically can run forever. Now, he's a big fan of mine, so he changes his oil every 5,000 miles. It doesn't burn any oil. It runs perfectly fine. And you can see the deer came off a lot worse than the car did when it hit a deer. He said he heard the deer go boom, 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 and it went down the side of the car. Now, he is in Rhode Island, so you're going to get corrosion on the wheels. These are Li wheels. Li wheels and salt do not go together. He's worried about the undercarriage because one time he had it undercoated, which he says you can't even tell anymore. And we'll start looking around. Now, you can see these 4Runners made in Japan. They have solid frames, right? And you can see it looks a little crinkly, but it isn't. That's solid metal. Now, I would advise him, if he wants to keep this forever, to have it recoated, cleaned off and recoated again. He doesn't know if he's going to get something else because his wife is talking Lexus. And if he's going to trade it in, there's no sense doing it now because it's going to take many, many, many years for this to get down to flaky rust. But if he's planning on keeping it, I'd say blast it off and seal it again. But guy did a pretty good job. You can hear that stuff's solid as can be. Now, it's a good thing it's an 07 and not an 04 because those 04s were the ones that got those rotten frames. The Tundra's got them, these got them, the Tacoma's got them. And Toyota, at least to their credit, replaced thousands of frames free. And you might think, kind of a deal is that? Well, it is a deal. The entire vehicle has to be taken off. Then it has to be bolted onto a new frame. It is a big deal. Now, the problem is, Toyota today, they're not allowing it for most cars. I've had customers, Illinois, with the same exact year Toyota, same truck, same rotten frame. They didn't do the guy in Indiana, but they did the guy in Illinois for free, so who knows? Yeah, corporations are all dead from the neck up anyways. But this is 07. It doesn't have the rust problem. The newer ones don't have rust problems either. But if you're a type of person who can't remember numbers, if you're looking at one of these used, bring a big hammer. Start tapping it. It sounds like this, nice and solid, great. If it goes crunchy, crunchy, walk away and don't buy it. All right, here we go. We're going to do a scan on this old vehicle. It's already read what it is. Now it's thinking. Thinks pretty fast though. Already read the VIN. It's a 4Runner. Do a big scan of it. Do a topology scan. More basic on an older one, but it still does it. And while it's doing it, we'll look around. Big sunroof. Cloth seats are still in pretty good shape, except they're getting stained. So they're thinking about getting some seat covers. I'm a cheapskate. I'd get a bottle of that Resolve cleaner that's got the Oxy cleaner, and I'll bet you I could get that stain out. Now, I can't try it now because my wife won't let me buy it anymore. She says it smells and gives her headaches, so I don't buy Resolve anymore. But if you want to try, just spray it on there, let it soak for 5 minutes, get a nice fingernail scrub brush. I bet you can get that stain out. Done it pretty fast. We'll start with some basic stuff that generally doesn't mean anything. The tire pressure monitoring system's got a code. Data from transmitter ID 4 not received. So who cares? This thing's 17 years old. None of them are probably going to work all that well. Do you want to spend hundreds of dollars? No. Get a tire pressure gauge. They cost $10. And he's beat me to the punch. He's got one in here. There it is. Seat restraining system. Airbag, it's got some stupid code. Oh, we'll see what those trouble codes are. Airbag systems, they generally don't last that long either. Driving side squid circuit is open, so it probably wouldn't work, so fasten your seatbelt. Right, then there is one ECM code, so we'll see what that is. Let it pop up, and it says, engine immobilizer system. Well, it says it always starts. The only problem is, this car's weird. Watch this. The power's on, but you can take the key out. So I'm assuming the machine knows that. Who cares? It starts. He just has to remember to take the key out when it's turned off, because someone has left it in before and it drains the battery. So now we'll start her up and we'll look at some live data here. See what kind of shape this thing is in. Go to live data. And here we go. It's an older car, but it's still got a reasonable amount of information available. Remember, black is good, red is bad. Short tune fuel trim. 0, minus 0.80, 0.7. That's almost perfect. For a vehicle that has 180,575 miles, being almost perfect is pretty good. All the data looks good so far. Here's the temperature of the catalytic converter. They're both the same. This has 2 cats on it. Battery voltage is good. 13.5 charging. Electronically controlled 5-speed transmission, doesn't have any codes. Even has 2 temperature sensors for the automatic transmission. Now, you can't read them on a dash, but these machines get all this information and pass it through. If you need to look it up, you gotta get a scan tool like this for that kind of information. Self-timing system's all working right. Injector milliseconds is stable. You can see the engine speed of all the cylinders is exactly the same. There's perfection for you. Misfire, I'm sure we won't find any. 0 all the way down, 1 through 6, they're all zeros. Now here we go. We went over the bump, no problem. It's a high vehicle. People like these because they're high, they're on a solid frame. Now, they're not gonna ride like a Lexus that's a unibody construction, but they're gonna last forever. Now, since they're solid frame in a big heavy vehicle, these things do use gasoline. For example, this lies and says he's getting 22.9. It's really 20, but 20 miles a gallon for something that's going to run forever. Hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. When you get into the modern technology, 8, 9, 10-speed transmissions, of course they get better gas mileage. But generally those things aren't going to last 300,000-400,000 miles. Or more. And everybody's coming, so I gotta wait a second here. It's not a race vehicle by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not slow either. You don't get these to drag race, people. Patience of a saint here. There's a saint right there. It's a Catholic church. Okay, here we go. Right? It started to burn out before the traction control went, but you can see, hey, decent acceleration. You step on the gas, it goes, and the transmission still shifts as smooth as it did when it was brand new. That's the thing about a Toyota. They last and last, which coincidentally and ironically enough is one of the reasons a lot of people don't buy them, even used, because they're expensive. Even used. Hey, these things might have 200,000 miles. They'll still go for 20-something grand. They are just so well made. Made in Japan, solid frame. You really can't go wrong if that's the type of vehicle you're looking for. Yes, it's been hit by deer. It's bashed into poles, but it still runs like a top with very little things done to it at all. Now, tell the truth, the owner did change the radiator because he knows they're plastic radiators, right? And he understands engineering, so he replaced it himself. It wasn't leaking yet, but the same thing. If you noticed a few weeks ago, I changed the radiator in the Matrix because I'm trying out products from this online company, and they sent me the radiator. I thought, what the heck, I'll try it out. So now it's got a new radiator. It didn't need one yet, but you never know. You'll be driving down the road and the plastic cracks, and then you either overheat the engine or you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, and then you're in hillbilly land and they want $1,000 to replace a radiator you can buy online for $99, so that's not a bad idea. But as you can see, the paint's still in really good shape. 4-wheel drive system still works fine. Hey, it's a nice vehicle, and he's keeping it as kind of a rat Toyota because he's leaving the gaps where people bash into things. And I don't blame him. It's a warning for the people driving the car. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.